Today from Hershey Park Stadium, the Pennsylvania Cable Network presents the PIAA Boys AA Soccer Championship. Our matchup, the 19-4 Firebirds of Holy Ghost Prep against the 21-0-3 West Allegheny High School. Hello everyone and welcome aboard. It is West Allegheny, the champions from District 7, taking on the champions from District 1, Holy Ghost Prep. Alongside Brian Kaiser, my name is Bob McCool as we get you set for this AA matchup. And the most interesting thing about all of this, Brian, is that these two teams get here to the state championship and neither one has given up a goal along the way in the PIAA playoffs.
Tremendous defense from both these squads. Screen, that's Matt Crawford, All-State a year ago. Mid is their center defender, Zach Graziani.
The old adage that defense wins championships, but somebody's got to score a goal. Allegheny County and Imperial, opposite sides of the state, meeting right now in the middle of the pitch. And here with the introduction of West Allegheny and Holy Ghost Prep, the voice of Hershey Park Stadium, Bob Schellenberger, to tell you who will be where.
And now, let's meet West Allegheny. Head coach Kevin Amos. Assistants Luke DeVickas, John Armando, Tom Jackson, Derek McCracken, Elliot Constantine, and Warren Kelly. Here is the starting side for the Indians. Starting in goal, Spencer Wolf. He'll start it forward, wearing number 4, Mike Mayera. Starting forward, number 6, Colin Worst. Midfielder number 7, Kyle McCracken. Forward number 9, Cooper Amos. Wearing number 10, starting midfielder, Nick Jarasinski. Midfielder number 13, Josh Kalarik. Defender number 16, Patrick Harmon. Wearing number 17, starting forward, Mike Cummings. Defender number 20, Zach Graziani. And starting defender, number 27, Levi Berkset. The Indians of West Allegheny High School.
Quarters. In fact, this team in 2013 has said point blank that they're pretty much tired of hearing about the 2009 West Allegheny team that made it to the semifinals of the WPIA and the quarterfinals of PIAA. They have obviously done much better than that, winning the WPL title and now trying to make it a PIAA sweep as well. So West Allegheny now looking for its first opportunity with a little bit of a push here, coming off the set piece, headed offline, and West Allegheny denied.
Kyle McCracken had an opportunity. That ball comes in, nice deep long kick on the free kick, and that ball gets nicked over. And here's McCracken, number 7, and just didn't get the left foot up in time to deflect it on front.
Those 3 early losses. It has been an outstanding run for Holy Ghost Prep through the district and now the state playoffs.
And their head coach, Ken Lawson's a guy who remembers and has played in soccer opportunity. That Holy Ghost Prep team that lost to Quaker Valley in the state final, he was a year too early. As we take a look at this opportunity, there's a ball played through. That takes a lot of courage from a keeper who hasn't had to touch the ball yet. What's wrong about it? Nobody made a run at all. He surprised his own team too.
Much better job this time, but this time it went right through everybody. So 2 outstanding sets from the foot of Cooper Amos, but West Allegheny comes up empty.
Who is your best defender?
There's a timed piece, and this time it'll be Spencer Wolf.
Two keepers who are very confident. They will both be very aggressive, both be very quick off their line. The goalie position, a lot of people think is Mike Mayera was right with him the entire time and did not allow him to even get a cross off. So you can make all those great moves, but if they don't gain you anything because the defender's just right there, it still doesn't affect.
Kirby with the header. Or the toss in. Braun tried to head it home, and a little flurry out in front, but Spencer Wolf was in the right place to keep it away.
And he had his positioning correct, even though he didn't really see the ball very well. He ends up being in the way more than
Kirby with the toss.
A couple of flicks. Yo, wow.
Braun was there with the header and banging home with the foot. Sent in this time by Pierce Skelly, punched out.
Won its possession as we see this shot, a chip towards the back post, and it's an alert keeper. Again, like I said, you've got a keeper on one side and try to really attack the ball.
Sophomore Cooper Amos with the corner. This time it's headed out of there. Holy Ghost Prep's Pierce Skelly got above the crowd, right back at the keeper, but right there to make the save is Matt Lingerman.
Now Levi Bergset goes right to the keeper. We see that ball get cleared. Here's the on-rushing Bergset and got all of that one. And a very times on the offensive side. They have some very talented players, and they've shown that, especially in the state playoffs. But when you have goose eggs on the board constantly, you don't have to be great offense.
Right now it is 0-0 on the scoreboard. Inside of 19 minutes to play in half number 1. West Allegheny settling it to Kyle McCracken. Near side now to Colin Wurst. Far side, tap and up and over the top. Off the foot of Graziani.
Yeah, he set that one in motion. The long ball
ahead ends up on the foot of Crawford. Back looking for Braun. Contact between Braun and McCracken. McCracken ends up on the deck. And a foul called against Joe Braun.
Yeah, they're going to catch
to the foot of Patrick Harmon. Trying to get it away. Looking for PIAA, but it's taken away from him. Graziani sets it back to the near side, looking for McCracken. Cross midfield. McCracken settles it for Colin Wurst.
And this is more of what West Allegheny does. It's an excellent possession team. And usually their opponents don't get many opportunities to goal because they don't have the ball very often. Some excellent passing, moving the point of attack from one side to the other. Already in this possession without Holy Ghost Prep even touching the ball, they've gone from left to right and back to the left.
Amos looking for the backdoor feed from McCracken, but McCracken did not cut towards the goal, and it ends up rolling over the back. And a goal kick for the Firebirds.
They're even going to say it was offside before that.
Push from behind, another foul going to be called against the Firebirds, so things getting a little ragged right now between these two teams.
But you're going to see that. If you remember back to last year's AA game, that game was pretty ragged from time to time too. I mean, some good soccer being played, but when you have defensive teams, you're going to have some physical play, like you saw right there from Jake Weimer, who got whistled on the foul. And you're also going to see some disjoint
4 years before he finally turned the corner of the winning season. Here's a flurry out in front and an opportunity missed. Braun had a golden opportunity with an open net, and he misfired off the left foot.
Can't end up making the shot. Ball bounces in, and that ricochet where here comes Spencer Wolf off his line, and just the step over because of a little bit of... And this team has done everything to try to get him to that point.
Again, Cooper Amos will start the 4th corner kick opportunity for West Allegheny. Again, right out in front, headed. McCracken tried to come fly.
Let's take a look once again. Here's the initial one. Look for, it's number 13 actually for
Cole Eric.
And then back here, that's just a, they're not overly tall, but they are aggressive.
This time he goes low, and much easier job for Holy Ghost Prep to clear that out momentarily, but right back from the back line. I believe that might have been PIAA.
The first time, and this time, he's just a little bit off the mark.
And Lingerman was in a perfect spot the first time. He was not on this one. However, fortunate that it was just wide off the foot of senior Levi Bergset.
That skittered by. It was a lot closer than it looked when it left his foot. And all of a sudden, you see as much about sometimes the physical fatigue as it is the mental fatigue.
There's a nasty collision between Josh Koleric and Pierce Skelly. Skelly gets the worst of it, but Holy Ghost Prep will get the ball.
But Koleric pulls him right back up, helps him to his feet. Partially, that's to make sure that the referee has no consideration of a card. But the other one is in good sportsmanship. So we'll give him benefit of the doubt that it's more the latter than the former.
Cummings settles it in the middle of the field. Now Jarozinski looks for McCracken on the near side, right in front of the West Allegheny bench. McCracken with the left foot center pass that will hop right to the keeper.
When you're best opportunity as far as West Allegheny is concerned. Our flag is about 35 yards out.
Cummings, near side, trying to get by one defender, slipped a little bit in the process, and a second defender comes and taking it away by Nolan McManaman. Right back again to that back line. Keeper had a little bit of trouble with it. Lingerman lost his
slip, gives a corner kick.
Amos with his sixth corner kick. It gets through the back line. And there was Cummings. But Cummings couldn't settle it. And it'll be a corner kick from the opposite side now for West Allegheny. Now Amos will not take this one. This time Amos will stay out there. Kolarek will take it instead. The final few seconds ticking down.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Kolarek, one last shot with the left foot, misfires on it. It rolls harmlessly towards the keeper, who punches it away, and that will bring.
Goals are going to be hard to come by against these two teams, and as we're going to see in this highlight package, there were some near misses. There were some ones that were not so near misses that have to, at this point, be considered at least opportunities. But you see in the beginning, there are a few opportunities for West Allegheny, but none of those really go very well. And then all of a sudden, long throw, opportunity presents itself, and a ricochet French rips it off the head of Spencer Wolf, and then Wolf has to get involved with a punch out. Then at this point, West Allegheny, one of their best chances of the game, as a rifling shot from Levi Bergset. This one right here, though, this is the opportunity that people think about later on if things don't go well, as Joseph Braun had a chance. Another opportunity from Bergset, the closest opportunity really to getting the ball past the keeper in the net. But really, just time after time, these keepers have been up to the challenge when necessary, and the offense.
Final rolls into half number 2. West Allegheny and Holy Ghost Prep. We are scoreless at the break. We'll come back with the start of half number 2 after this. Firebirds work it outside and look for the long lob inside. Braun up with the keeper, Spencer Wolf. Settles off the foot of Patrick Harmon. And then ultimately cleared away by West Allegheny as Colin Wurst will get it out past midfield. Cummings, however, takes it away. Cummings gets tangled up.
Actually, as here we have the chip in, first from Holy Ghost Prep, that was punched away and then cleared. And at the other end, West Allegheny immediately had an opportunity to do something with it.
Colin Wurst curls one in. Cummings up and over the back of.
Here comes that opportunity near goal. And up and over the top, just a hustle play and a defender shot, and that obviously was not, as it misses its mark.
Kraken looking up ahead for Mike Cummings. Sophomore turns, nothing there, but West Allegheny defender Josh Kolarek. Look for the far side.
And here comes a little show of what we're talking about on the back post. Notice there's Harmon wedging himself in to make sure that number 2 Kirby isn't able to make that ball, trying to get through. As we take a look at it right here, ball, Kirby did well to win it. Then he tries to get through. Ooh, there's a little bit more of a case for that one. Cooper Amos grabbing a hold of the arm and swinging Kirby around. Still one that they don't call, but they are going to give a card here.
They're going to give a card both ways, it appears, after that was all said and done.
What?
Looking for Braun. Immediately, Graziani intercepts it, takes it away from him. Feed up ahead. Cummings trying to make a run. Cummings with the high floater, but floats it over the top.
With 19 goals in the season, this was very close to being 20 as he barely wins the foot race and is unlucky not to have a little bit less on it.
And Michael Kirby for Holy Ghost Prep are not yet back at the scores table, waiting an opportunity to come in, as they both have about 20 seconds left to sit down. So they'll be out for more than the 5-minute mandatory as Cummings works his way past one defender, second defender, and then finally a third defender. And Weimert gets back, but Cummings somehow or another works his way through and puts that one point blank on goal, but right into the breadbasket of the keeper, Matt Lingerman.
Well, that's a goal scorer, a guy who has the. Let's watch this, a 1v2. Now here comes another guy in the fray. He just turns just like that.
Win. And he also came back in the next game to win over Ole with a goal as well. And there's Spencer Wolf getting above the pack to pull one out of the air.
Under a lot of duress from Joseph Braun, the sophomore forward. A lot of contact on the keeper. They usually do not allow a lot of that. And here is that contact in front of the net. Watch Braun come in. That's the keeper's ball. He even led with the arm that time.
And both teams have mustered a total of 3 shots apiece. There's a handball called on Holy Ghost Prep's Pierce Skelly.
I just didn't call the foul instead. Not the foul ball, but a foul on McCracken.
And thus the boos in front of us from the West Allegheny faithful.
Wow, that never happens. Let's see what they saw. I'm with them. Holding that up.
And they had control of this from the get-go. They had established from the very opening minutes of this game that they were not going to allow a whole lot of pushing, shoving, extra stuff to go on. Here's Cummings, settles, gets a defender out of the way. Second defender comes and takes it off his foot.
And it the other way, have an opportunity for a counter, but that's thwarted. You had one guy back, and it looked like they had an opportunity. And all of a sudden, 3 guys just swarmed right over to the ball. And with only one guy down the field for West Allegheny, there was really no chance to either center the ball because there's nobody with Cummings. Honestly, you haven't gotten anything going. Is anyone willing to change tactics?
Kirby with the long toss, got a lot on that one. Looking for Braun off the header.
Out. But what Skelly probably is better off doing at that point, it's just sending it back into the mixer. You got to, in some ways, I think this has actually had more offense than last year's game at this point.
Getting back to their feet, out in front, but again, blasting it over the top. That was an oncoming Nick Jarosinski, who tried to one-time it.
But a tremendous play here. Watch the effort from Cummings to get the ball and split defenders. The ball tipped down. Jarosinski just sprays it wide.
Actually tipped and deflected off a teammate.
And that may have been enough to actually throw off the shot.
West Allegheny.
They don't step up and win the possession. They just clear it out of the zone, and the Holy Ghost Prep, a great run down the flank. This is where you need your all-stater to come through, and he gets there first, right in front of Kyle McCracken.
So from about 17 yards out,
this is going to be on net.
With the left footer, they try to look for Braun on the far side on the shin of Snyder, back in the direction of West Allegheny. Back to midfield, here come the Indians. Worst, the chip to the far side. Looking for Cummings. Cummings try to turn. Instead, headed up in the air, out in front. Cleared out by Bergset.
Position.
Who wants to win the PIAA Boys AA title? We're now within 4.5 minutes of the end of regulation, still scoreless. Cummings, great move to get by one defender, but banked it right off the leg of Brandon Davis. Out in front, in the middle. Cleared away again by the Firebirds.
And all of a sudden, West Allegheny, who has been on their defensive heels for maybe the last 3 minutes of play, all of a sudden now is starting their maybe final attack.
From the far side, centering pass for Cummings. Cummings tried a little hop over the top, wide of the net. Right back to Kirby, a little give and go. Graziani gets in the middle of it. Kirby gets it back. There's Kolarek, however, the second line of defense to take it away.
And the defenders once again win the day. Excellent job of just stepping up in the back and making a firm challenge.
And it was Kolarek who now sets it forward, looking for Colin Worst. Worst gets by the defender but doesn't have the angle, hits it off the side of the net.
Great run, though, from Worst. And and look at that through ball. Splits defenders, the little touch, and just can't quite twist it on.
Diaz, however, for West Allegheny. Knocked back in by McManaman. "80 minutes. We remain in a scoreless tie, and so it will be an extra session. It is a sudden victory overtime session. Kirby with the left footer. Centers right at the keeper. It's loose out in front. Braun tries to settle it. Knocked around with a whistle prior to it all happening on the low.
Yeah, it looked like there's some contact back there, and they're definitely not going to let that go. As it seems. Let's look at that play in the box. Yep, that's Snyder, and he was late. So
Alan Worst to the near side for Kyle McCracken. McCracken gets shielded away by Adam Snyder. Right back, McCracken comes with the toss in to Worst. Give and go to McCracken. 3 defenders around it. He still wins his way through.
West Allegheny, they've got to do a better job of getting back to possession here in overtime.
There's a little bit of a slip. Cummings slips through a defender, but ultimately is scooped up by Lingerman.
Here he is coming in. Let's see if it's valid. No, I just think that's a good defensive play. Luke Durr is coming in at the last moment and cutting off Cummings.
Braun back for Kirby. Kirby with the right foot up in the air. Wolf punches it away. Braun settles it with the left foot. We've got ourselves a winner. Braun, give him the assist. Give Crawford the game-winning. Matt Crawford, the All-State selection, voted first team All-Southeastern PA, is ultimately the guy who is going to win the battle as Wolf. Braun settled it. Here we'll see a better angle of it.
And it is Crawford who actually knocks Wolf down. And then the ball sent right back in, and Crawford just happens to be right